a friend, here's what to say. Let's talk in English, 10 minutes every day. When you need a friend, here's what to say. Let's talk in English, 10 minutes every day. That's the way.
Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Talk in English. I'm your teacher, Peter. Thanks for joining us for our weekend review show.
Yes, happy Saturday, friends. I'm Pauline, and I'm looking forward to reviewing all our great lessons from this week together.
Pop quiz. Before we do that, can you remember what shows we had this week?
Well, sure. Yesterday was our e-report. That was great. And we also talked about fathers this week.
I really did enjoy going on our e-report. But what about Monday and Tuesday's shows?
Don't tell me. I'll remember.
Well, do you need to go back to your house to get your notes?
No. House. That's what we talked about. Houses and apartments. See, I told you I'd remember. Okay, friends, let's watch those great lessons again.
What are you doing, Matt?
I'm looking for a new apartment.
Is something wrong with your apartment?
Yes, it's only a studio apartment, and it's on the second floor. I hear a lot of traffic noise.
That's not good.
I know, and the building is old.
But your rent is cheap. Apartments in new buildings are expensive.
I want a nice apartment.
Well, there's an apartment for rent in my building.
Really? What floor is it on?
It's on the 8th floor.
Does it have a nice living room?
Yes, but the kitchen is tiny.
That's okay. Does the building have an elevator?
Of course. It's a new building.
Oh, my back hurts.
What did you do to your back?
I hurt it last weekend. I was helping a friend at his house.
You are so nice, Alex.
Thanks. We planted some trees in his yard.
That sounds fun.
I also helped him clean his garage.
Oh, did you move heavy things?
Yes, everything was heavy.
Can you describe your friend's house?
It has 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a large dining room.
That's a big house.
My friend has a big family. He has 5 kids.
Was his house expensive?
It wasn't too expensive because it's outside the city.
Would you like to live in a house, Alex?
No. Being a homeowner is a lot of work.
Hi, Alex. What are you doing?
I'm sending my dad a Father's Day card.
Why? Father's Day was in June.
Not in Taiwan. Father's Day is August 8th.
Really? Why?
Because the Chinese word for 8 and father sound the same. So August 8th is Ba Ba or father.
Interesting. Well, any day is a good day to honor your father.
People in every country value their dads.
Yes, dads are important.
So what did you do for your dad on Father's Day?
I sent him a card. I couldn't be with him.
That's too bad.
But as a child, I loved spending time with my dad. We did a lot of fun things.
I still like to spend time with my dad.
Did you do a lot of things with your dad when you were growing up, James?
Yes, he took part in a lot of things that I did. And he always came to my soccer games.
That's great. My dad always encouraged me to follow my dreams. That's why I work in TV now.
That's great. Dads are very important in their children's lives.
A good dad and a good mom are important, aren't they?
That's right. They are a real blessing.
I know mine were. Successful people often have good mothers and fathers.
But anyone can be successful if they try hard.
That's a good point. So let's try hard now and make a good program. I hope we're successful.
Me too.
What a beautiful day for an e-report. It looks like I'm walking through a park, doesn't it? But I'm not. I'm actually in a garden, and not just any garden. I am 6 stories up in the Sky Garden at the National Taichung Theater. This building is amazing, and I am here to learn all about it. Do you want to come along with me and explore? Let's go.
The National Taichung Theater is an opera house in Taiwan's third largest city, Taichung. It is a famous landmark in Taichung. It has 3 great indoor performance spaces. The Grand Theater has 2,007 seats. The Playhouse has 796 seats. And the Black Box has 200 seats. The theater also has an outdoor theater that connects to the Black Box. This creates a one-of-a-kind performance stage. Both local and international performances take place in these spaces. But what makes the theater really great is not just the shows performed in it, but the design of the building itself. The building is as beautiful on the inside as it is on the outside. People from around the world come to visit the National Taichung Theater because it is a building like no other.
The design of this building is very special. Other than the floor, there is not one part that is flat. The walls and the ceiling are all curved, and it feels like I'm in a giant cave. This is not by accident. Actually, the designer of this building calls the National Taichung Theater a sound cave. He wanted to bring people back to nature, and I think he did a pretty good job.
The design of the National Taichung Theater looks simple, but it was actually very hard to build. Most buildings have beams and columns to support it. But when the Japanese architect Toyo Ito designed the building, he created it with no columns or beams. This was a big challenge for the builders. Before this building, no one had ever tried to build anything like it before. And many people said it couldn't be done. In fact, the Taichung city government met with 5 different construction companies before they found one who could build it. Many people say the National Taichung Theater is the most difficult building to ever be built. In order to make Toyo Ito's design into a building, engineers needed to create and develop a new way of building. Usually, flat boards and concrete are used to create the walls of a building. But the walls of the National Taichung Theater had a curved design, and also no two walls were the same. Workers needed to create special steel cages with mesh on the outside to create the different shapes. Once the cages and mesh were in place, they poured concrete into them to make the walls. The whole theater is made up of 58 wall pieces that come together to create the open space design.
Before the workers could start building this building, the engineers needed to see if their new way of building would work. So they built these test pieces to try it out. And now they stand outside of the theater to show everyone the hard work it took to make an idea real. You know, I really enjoyed learning how this theater was designed and built today. It makes me appreciate its beauty even more. And it reminds me not to be afraid to try new things. Sometimes we have an idea, but we're just too afraid to try. But you never know until you do. Well, this place is the perfect example of that. And they have pretty good restaurants, so I think I'm gonna try something new today as well. Friends, enjoy today, and this is Peter from eReport. What great lessons. Okay, now let's see if you can answer some questions about them.
All right, let's review some key words first. Peter, Japan, Canada, and England are all examples of what?
Okay, they are examples of countries.
Very nice. This one's a little harder. If you like being with someone, then you can say you enjoy doing what with them?
You enjoy spending time with them.
Right. Friends, we enjoy spending time with you every Saturday here on the show.
We sure do.
Okay, here's another keyword question, Peter. Where do you cook food?
Where? Well, at home, of course.
Oh, well, okay, but where in the house, Peter?
In the kitchen.
Yes. And where do you...
Oh, do I eat the food? In the dining room, of course.
Yes, but Peter, that's not my question. My question is, where do you sit and watch TV?
In my bedroom.
What? No, I mean, okay, maybe some people watch TV in the bedroom, but what's another room in the house where people watch TV?
Oh, I know, Pauline. You're talking about the living room.
Yes, thank you. You are a difficult student.
Well, let's see how you are. I think it's my turn to ask some questions.
Good. You'll see I'm a great student.
Yesterday on our e-report, we went to an amazing building in Taichung. You can watch music and dance performances here. So, what kind of building is it?
Easy. That's a theater.
That's right.
See, I told you I'm a great student. Now, friends, it's time for a quick break.
Let's talk in English. 10 minutes every day. That's the way.
Welcome back, everyone. This was a great week to learn together. We had so many great lessons. I especially liked the e-report.
You always say that, Pauline.
But it's always true. I love learning about interesting places I can visit or fun activities to do.
Well, I have another activity for us to do now.
Oh, what's that?
Well, we can watch some of those great features from this week's shows. Friends, let's do that right now.
Hello everyone, welcome to Jack's File. This is Jack. I'm just looking at pictures of houses. I like to do that sometimes. There are so many interesting houses. Some are really big. Would you like to live in a big house? It might be fun to live in one, but it can be too big for me. I could get lost in it. People all over the world live in different kinds of houses. Some of them are big, some are quite small. Some are made of sticks, mud, or stone. Some are made of animal skin, and some are made of ice. But everyone wants a place to live that they can call home. In large cities, most people don't live in houses. They live in apartments. There are usually many apartments in one building. Some apartments can be really big and have lots of bedrooms. Other apartments, called studio apartments, are just one room. Hong Kong has the smallest average apartment size in the world. The average apartment in Hong Kong is only about 470 square feet, or 26 ping. It's expensive to live in Hong Kong, so many people live in much smaller places. Outside of big cities, people live in houses. The average size of a house in the United States is 2,700 square feet, or 150 ping. Some houses have large yards where children can play, and people have gardens. Other houses have no yard at all. But most houses and apartments will have bedrooms, bathrooms, a kitchen, a living room, and a dining room. People decorate their houses and choose furniture they like. Then their house or apartment is really their home. You can find pictures of some really fancy houses, and I'm sure they're really expensive too. It's nice to dream about being rich and living in a place like that, but I like my house best. It's my home, I feel comfortable there, and it's just right for me. I'm sure you like your home too. You know what they say? Home is where the heart is. See you next time on Jack's File. Goodbye, everyone.
Hello everyone, welcome to Question Time, a time to ask your questions and get some answers. Today, we're talking about fathers. And here to answer our question is my guest, Mr. Abraham Adams. Hello, Abraham.
Hello, Rob.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Of course, I'd love to be here.
Now, Abraham, you are a scientist, right?
Yes, and I am a doctor. I study families.
Then you're the perfect person to answer today's question. Today's question comes from Sarah Lin of Zhanghua, Taiwan. Sarah writes, August 8th is Father's Day in Taiwan. We celebrate our fathers on this special day. We all know fathers are very important people, but can you tell me why?
What a great question, Sarah. You are right. Fathers are very important people. Good fathers give children good lives.
What makes a good father?
Many people think that good fathers just need to make money for their families. But a good father does more than that.
Can you explain more?
Yes. Good fathers spend time with their children. They play with them. They also teach their children. Good fathers will hug and kiss their children.
And good fathers help their children feel safe.
Yes, children who grow up with good fathers are usually more successful.
So it is important for fathers to be a part of their children's lives.
That's right. It is very important. Many people think that taking care of children is a mother's job, but that's not true. Both the father and the mother must be a part of it.
Thanks for answering our question, Abraham. I learned a lot. I hope you learned a lot too, friends. See all of you next time on Question Time.
Hi, welcome to Real Stories. I'm Denise Chambers, and on today's episode of Real Stories, our special guest is Eric Lindbergh. Hi, Eric.
Hi, everyone. Denise, thanks for having me on your show.
Eric, you're doing so many things to help the world now. But what do you think made you famous?
Well, it would be my grandfather, of course.
Eric is the grandson of the famous Charles Lindbergh, the first person to fly an airplane across the Atlantic Ocean. No one had ever done anything like it before.
Well, you see, that's what many people think, but actually...
Wait, that was a super sentence!
Oh, welcome to Real Stories, Super Sentence Man.
Well, thank you.
We're in the middle of an interview here on live TV.
I see. And there's no better place to share super sentences than on live TV. Hi, everyone. The super sentence for today is, no one had ever done anything like it before. Can you say it in another way?
Sure. Last week, my friend Rebecca made some cookies with tree leaves inside.
What?
No one had ever baked anything like it before. They tasted interesting.
Right. Well, that was a super sentence. No one had ever baked anything like it before. Wait, are you Eric Lindbergh? The grandson of the first person to fly an airplane across the Atlantic?
Well, that's what many people believe, but the truth is, many people had flown across the ocean before my grandfather did, but he was the first person to fly alone.
He flew from New York to Paris, right?
In 1927. Oh, the spirit of St. Louis. I love that story.
Super Sentence Man.
Yes?
May I please continue my interview here?
Yes, of course. Sorry. Just remember, a super sentence every day
will make your English great.
Do people interrupt your interviews often?
No. Actually, no one has ever interrupted like that before. I'm so sorry about that. No, it doesn't usually happen.
Thanks for joining us today, friends. We always love reviewing with you. It's a lot of fun. And hopefully it helps you remember and practice all those great things we learned this week.
That's very true. And we will have more interesting lessons next week. So don't forget to join us then, right here on
Let's Talk in English. Goodbye.